What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Learn Japanese from Some Guy. Today, we'll be looking at chapter 44 of my textbook, where we will learn how to show contrast with ga and kedo. So, if you have seen the videos up to this point, you've encountered the usage of ga and kedo a couple times, but now we're going to look at them in a little more detail. So here we have a little kind of explanation of how it works. So ga can be used to show contrast between the first and second clause of a sentence. So for example, I studied, but I didn't pass the test, for example. So you all know how to use but, I'm sure. But anyway, the structure of our sentences will look something like this. So we'll have an i-adjective, and we can use des ga. Or we have a noun, we use des ga, na-adjective, or a verb. So you'll notice here that if we have an i-adjective or a verb, the des is optional. You don't need to include it. You can if you want to be a little more polite, but it's not necessary. The nouns and na-adjectives, however, you cannot omit des or any of its alternate conjugations. So we'll look at that in a little more detail later, so it'll make a little more sense. But just know now that with i-adjectives and verbs, you don't need des. You can just say ga. Or the same works for kedo, but we'll look at that later. But anyway, so here we have some example sentences that we can look at. So number one, sushi ga suki desu ga, ima diet chū dakara taberaremasen. So I like sushi, but sushi ga suki desu ga. I like sushi, but now I'm on a diet and can't eat it. Diet chū. I'm in the middle of a diet. Can't eat it. Number two, watashi wa sore wo kaitai ga takasugiru. So I want to buy that, but it's too expensive. Kaitai ga. So want to buy, but takasugiru. It's too expensive. So I can't buy it. Number three, それはアメリカの車だが、そんなに大きくない. So here we have アメリカの車, which of course is a noun, American car, だが、そんなに大きくない. So you'll notice here that we don't have des, but we have da. So as you know, when you're speaking a little more casually, you can say da instead of des. So we could say それはアメリカの車ですが、そんなに大きくない. But here we're just using da because we're speaking a little more casually. Both are fine. Number four, そのレストランは安いが、料理があんまり美味しくない. So that restaurant is cheap, but it's very good. 安いが、料理があんまり美味しくない. And another thing I'd like to point out that kind of confused me when I was first learning Japanese is that sometimes people will say this ga character with a hard g, 安いが、料理があんまり美味しくない. But a lot of times you'll hear it like an ng, 安いが、料理があんまり美味しくない. So sometimes this ga can be pronounced ga or nga. So just know that there are two different pronunciations with ga. Sometimes it's soft, sometimes it's hard. Just depends on who's using it. All right, so now we'll look at kedo. So it's pretty much the exact same as ga, except that we usually use it to show some kind of connection between the first and second clause, not necessarily a contradiction. So like I took the test, I studied for the test, but I failed. So that's a contradiction, right? If you study for the test, you should pass. But in that case, we would probably use ga. And you could use kedo, but ga shows more of a contrast. But kedo shows more of a connection. And we'll look at some example sentences to kind of illustrate that. But you'll see that the structure is the exact same. I-adjectives and i-adjectives and verbs, we can exclude or omit des if we want. Nouns and na-adjectives need des or da or deshda or some form of des between the noun or adjective and kedo. So let's look at the first example sentence. So number one, 日本に住んでいるけど、東京に行ったことはないです. So I live in Japan, but I've never been to Tokyo. So again, kedo is showing some kind of like maybe unexpected results. So I live in Japan, but I've never been to Tokyo. Like you would expect maybe someone who's been living in Japan for a long time to have been to Tokyo, but it's not necessarily a contrast, right? It's just kind of like oh, that's a surprise. I can't believe it. Number two, 彼はアメリカ人だけど日本語が上手. So he is American, but he speaks Japanese very well. So here's a situation where you could use ga. 彼はアメリカ人だが、日本語が上手. So that would kind of be, you wouldn't expect an American to speak Japanese extremely well, but da kedo is perfectly fine. アメリカ人だけど、日本語が上手. Number 3, この部屋はちょっと暗いけど、本は読めます. So this room is a little dark, but I can read books. 暗いけど、本を読めます. A little dark, but still I can read my books. And number 4, 私のアイディアはちょっと変だけど言ってもいい? So my idea is a little strange, but is it okay if I say it? 変だけど. So please notice here we have our na-adjective, so we need da or des. We cannot say 変けど言ってもいい. That's wrong, okay? And same thing here. 彼はアメリカ人けど. It's wrong. We need da. アメリカ人だけど変だけど、変ですけど、変ですけれども, if you want it to be even more polite, but we're just focusing on けど. So right now you might be wondering, so Jeremy, what's the difference between, ga and けど? How do I know exactly when to use, one over the other? And that's a very good question. And I think for the most part, just to simplify, the studying of Japanese and, this is a beginner level textbook, you can pretty much consider them to be, the same. I'm not Japanese, as you can probably tell, so I can't give you like an in-depth explanation. And I think, an in-depth explanation would be beyond the scope of this book. But I think for the most part, just consider them, to be pretty much the same. But one difference that I think is worth remembering and mentioning is that kedo is a little softer or more polite than ga. So here we have, 2 example sentences to illustrate. So we have, ちょっと失礼だけど、これはまずいです. So I know this is a little rude, but this tastes awful, まずい. The opposite of おいしい. 失礼だけど、これはまずいです. And here we have ちょっと失礼ですが、これはまずいです. So ですが is a little more, hard, right? けど is a little softer. At least as far as my understanding goes, maybe you can consult with a Japanese friend, but I think for the most part you can just remember that. Kedo is a little softer. But anyway, now we're going to try some practice problems. So basically, all we're going to do is fill in the blanks with ga or kedo. And I think, you can use whichever ones you want. Like I said, they're pretty much the same. So ga or kedo is fine. But what we really want to remember is when we have to use da or des, right? So remember, for our i-adjectives and verbs, we don't need des, but for our nouns and na-adjectives, we do need to use da or des. So this will be a little simple practice to kind of see if you can distinguish verbs, i-adjectives, nouns, na-adjectives. Very, very important skill if you want to continue studying Japanese. So let's see. Here we have numbers 1, 2, and 3. So just look at the English sentence. It doesn't really matter, but read the Japanese sentence, fill in the blanks. So here we have 1, 2, 3. Pause the video, answer these. Number 4, pause the video, answer this one. 5, 6, can I get both of them in there? That's okay. 5, 6, and 7. I think you guys can figure it out. 5, 6, and 7. 8, 9, and 10. And let's see, 11, 12, 13. I think that's all of them. Oh, a couple more. Wow, there's a lot. 14, 15, 16. Pause the video and answer these. Wow, I didn't realize there were so many. I forgot. Is that all of them? Okay, that's all of them. So those 16. So pause the video. Hopefully you've answered all those now. And now we'll check our answers. All right, guys, here we are. So let's check. Number 1. I invited her, but she said she couldn't go. 私は彼女を誘いましたが、行けないと言いました。Number 2, I'm going to the gym every day, but I'm not losing any weight. 毎日ジムに通っているけど、体重は減らない。So 体重, your body weight. 減る means to go down. 体重は減らない. Won't go down. Number 3, today is Christmas, but I'm going to work. 今日はクリスマスだけど、働こうと思います。Today is Christmas, but I'm going to work. This is expensive, but I'm going to buy it. これは高いけど買おうと思います。 おうと思います. So remember we practiced that using the volitional form, right? 買おうと思う. 買おうと思います. And let's see number 5. He isn't busy, but he won't help me. 彼は暇だが助けてくれません. So remember, 暇 means someone has time, someone is free. So if you say 彼は暇 means he isn't busy. He has free time. 彼は暇だが助けてくれません. Number 6. I apologized to him, but he didn't forgive me. 私は彼に謝ったけど許してくれない. Number 7. That restaurant is cheap, but it's not very good. あの店は安いけどあんまり美味しくないです. Number 8. I want to go to Japan, but I don't have any money. 私は日本に行きたいけどお金がないです. Number 9. This area is peaceful or quiet, but it's not very convenient. この辺りは静かだがとても不便なところですよ. So 静か is a na-adjective. この辺りは静かだがとても不便なところです。不便なところですよ. Number 10. He lived in America, but his English is bad, or he speaks English poorly. 彼はアメリカに住んだけど英語が下手. So you'll notice this word right here, 下手. Let's see, sorry. 下手 means, not good, 下手. And we saw earlier the character for 上手. Let's see, where is it? 上手. 上手. So you'll notice here, 上手 means, 彼はアメリカ人だけど日本語が上手. So 上手 means something is very, very good. And you'll notice the character here, the first character means like above. So 上. And this character means hand. So we have like the upper hand means someone is good, 上手. But the character for 下手 is the, now I forgot what number it was. Woo! 下手. So number 10. So 下手, so this character right here means below. So basically we have the underhand, right? So we have 上手 means, above hand means something is good. And you have 下手, the below hand is bad. So I think these are really useful words, 上手 and 下手. You'll hear them all the time. And if you go to Japan, people will tell you all the time, 日本語上手だね, or whatever. So you'll hear these words a lot. And you go, no, yeah, 下手, 下手, 下手. No, my Japanese is not good. But anyway, number 11, I want to study, but I don't have time. 勉強したいけど時間がない。時間がないです。勉強したいけど I want to study, but something is preventing me. 時間がない. I have no time. Number 12, this is heavy, but I can carry it by myself. これは重いけど一人で運べますよ。運ぶ to carry. 一人で by myself 運べます can carry. Number 13, I studied, but I failed the test. 勉強したけど試験に落ちた. 試験 means test, and 落ちる means to fall. So in Japanese, you say, 試験に落ちる to fall. But of course, the translation would be, I failed the test. 試験に落ちた. And number 14, she's still a child, but she's very smart. 彼女はまだ子供だが、頭がすごくいいですよ。すごくいい。すごくいいです。Sorry. 彼女はまだ子供だが、頭がすごくいいです。And number 15, I want to go to the match, but I don't know how to get there. 試合に行きたいけど、行き方がわからないです。試合、the match. 行きたいけど、I want to go, but 行き方がわからないです。I don't know the way. And the last one, number 16, I overslept, but I made the train. 寝坊したけど、電車に間に合いました。寝坊する。So to oversleep. 電車に間に合いました。To make the train. 電車に間に合う。So that's it. And let's see, before we finish this chapter, let's go over quickly what we learned. So we saw that ga and kedo can be used to show a connection or contradiction between the first and second clause of a sentence. I studied, but I failed. I slept late, but I still made the train. We also learned that kedo is a little softer than ga, a little more polite. And the casual form of des, of course, is da in the present form, da. And the last thing is that when used in conjunction with nouns and na-adjectives, we need to append da or, des, desu ga, da ga, desu kedo, da kedo. All right, and let's see, chapter 45. Next time, we'll look at expressing excess with sugiru. So earlier in the chapter we saw, like I want to buy a new computer, but it's takasugiru, too expensive. So we're going to learn how to use sugiru to describe something in excess, too much, right? So a very, very useful lesson, something you'll hear all the time, so be sure to check that out. Also, if you wish to support the series, you can find a link to the textbook in the description box below. Buy that. I really appreciate that. And always, I really appreciate, when you guys leave comments and, likes and, tell a friend who's interested in studying Japanese. So it's all good, all very helpful. So thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time. Mata ne.